usual, same time, Monday afternoons, coming out here roughly between 1 and 1:30 p.m. Every Monday, every week to share tips on getting real, being healed, and moving forward, and just to simply encourage you in your journey. I will give folks a few moments to come on in, and as you're coming in, definitely share this to your networks. Share this to folks that you believe would could benefit from this message. I am Tanika Maria, and again, I'm all about getting real, being healed, and moving forward in emotional wholeness, peace, and clarity. Hi there, Peter from HAPS. Good to see you. Thank you for joining my broadcast. I'm not too frequent on HAPS. I've been more of a Periscope, YouTube, Facebook person, but I'm trying to get used to the HAPS app. So thank you so much for being here. Blessings to you. And those of you that are will come in or see the replay, definitely share this out, subscribe to HAPS, and turn on your notifications for when I go live. Again, my name is Tanika Maria. I'm all about getting real, being healed, and moving forward in emotional wholeness, peace, and clarity. And on today, I just want to share a little bit of my personal testimony with regards to how I finally got free from a breakup. And if you're in, definitely say something in the chat so that I can shout you out, whether you're on YouTube, Facebook, or Periscope, so that I can say hello and let me know where you're coming in from. But I wanted to share how I finally got free from a breakup. And so for some of you that may know me personally or know or on my mailing list, you know that I recently ended an engagement about 6 months ago. And during that process, I was listening to one of my mentors who was on YouTube, and I've got my coaching certification through her, through Shannon Yvette. And she was doing a video, she was teaching on YouTube about Job, about the biblical character of Job, and how he lost everything, his children, his wealth, his riches, his land, all his stuff, right? He lost everything. And he began to say a lot of crazy things and question God. And he was in bitterness and all of that. He also had friends who were trying to figure out, okay, what did you do? What sin did you do for all of this stuff to happen to you, right? And so in the midst of all these questions and speculations and arguments and everything, when it was time for God to speak, God shut everything down. He shut them all down. And then the instruction to Job that finally turned his captivity was when he prayed for his friends. And I've skipped over a whole lot because I want to get to the meat of my story and what this means for you and me. For those of you that have endured relational breakups, transitions, and it doesn't even have to be in the area of romantic relationships, but anything where you've been hurt, betrayed, traumatized, wounded, or abandoned. In this example, things didn't turn around for Job until he prayed for his friends and he blessed them. And at that moment, that's when his captivity began to change. And in that teaching, what she was trying to say was, it's not no greasy, easy, fake forgiveness because it's the Christian thing to do. It's like the capacity to pray for someone and to release the blessing over somebody that hurt you. That right there, that's what I had to do. And what did that mean? It meant that I couldn't do a dry, half-hearted type of a prayer where I'm still feeling some kind of way and I got these little negative feelings still there. I still got that little nasty thing in my heart. No. What did it mean? It couldn't be a fake surface prayer because again, it's the right thing to do. You're supposed to forgive because I'm a Christian. No, it had to come from a sincere place. And what did that mean for me? Let me tell you, I'm breaking this down. Pay attention and hear me well. It meant that it had to come from a place of love. Oh, ooh. And I'm not talking about this romantic, erotic type of love. I had to dig deep. And I had to dig deep and think, okay, do I really want him? Do I care about his soul? And do I want him to suffer and die and just be in pain or anything like that? Do I really, really want that? And the answer was no. The answer was no. And not only did I have to pray for him, what I'm talking about for those of you who may catch the replay, those of you that may be listening now, is for me to get to the place for my own freedom. Not only did I have to pray for my ex, but I had to send him the blessing. I had to pray for him and send him the blessing. For real, for real. Not nothing fake, not nothing surface. And to do this, it had to come from a right place. And so what I'm saying to you that are in that place where it doesn't even necessarily have to be a relational breakup, a divorce, or anything like that. But if you got a slither, an ounce, a crumb, a fraction of love for a human being, which is what that person who betrayed you, hurt you, abandoned you, rejected you in some kind of a way, they're a human being, right? Then that little bit right there is your capacity to forgive. So, Tanika, how did you get there? How did you get there? Let me let you know. These are the three keys, and this is really, really, really important. This is really critical. This is what helped me. I realized that it was absolutely useless to hold an emotional IOU, because that's what it is. When you're holding that resentment and that hurt in your heart, you're still feeling like they owe you something, right? How can I hold an emotional IOU? So imagine this is a piece of paper and this represents the debt that that person who hurt you. This is the note. This is the IOU. This is the promissory note. So I'm trying to hold an IOU over somebody that has no capacity to pay it back. He can't pay it back. That hurt and that pain, he doesn't have no capacity, has no capacity at all, spiritually, emotionally, any way, shape, form whatsoever to pay me back. That pain that you're feeling is between you and God. And only God can heal that. And only He has the capacity to pay you back. Only God, right? And so how does it look me holding an IOU over the head of someone who can't even pay it back? Point number two that I want you to think about. The second point is I want you to think about how over the years you may have unconsciously, in your unconsciousness, in your own trauma, in your own wounding, in your own issues, and you're just in your own world and you're doing what you need to do, getting by, doing what's necessary, and you hurt people. You weren't even trying to. As a matter of fact, you had good intentions, but because of your own stuff, your own baggage, you wind up still hurting them, hurting their feelings, saying stuff that you shouldn't have said, behaving in ways that you shouldn't have behaved in, making some significant bad decisions and choices. And a lot of times, maybe you were even unaware of it. You were unconscious of it. You didn't even realize the impact your words and your behaviors had on somebody. And then years later or months later, or they bring it to your attention and you look at that thing and you realize, and now you can't go back and undo that damage. You can't go back and unscramble that egg, right? And so if you've hurt somebody inadvertently in your own unconsciousness, in your own trauma, in your own drama, in your own woundedness, can you not realize that your ex probably did that too? And the other people that hurt you, they probably did that to you. No one wakes up. Some people do. Now there are narcissists and there are very evil people out here. But most of the time, people are not waking up with the intention, like, I'm going to jack them up and hurt their feelings and tear them up today. No. And so that's the second point, because you have hurt people, you have sinned, you have done some stuff, you have said some stuff and behaved in ways and done things and acted in ways that hurt other people too. And the third thing, hey there from Lynchburg, blessings to you. And as you guys are coming in, definitely share this out. I hope this is encouraging you in some kind of way. This is how I got free from my breakup. The third thing, and again, my name is Tanika Maria, and I'm a certified Christian life coach. And so I come from the Christian perspective. The third thing that helped me, the third and final thing, going back to this IOU. When someone has hurt you, made you mad, you got resentment in your heart, they betrayed you, abandoned you, did something, rejected, hurt you in some kind of way, and you're holding that IOU in the spirit. You're holding that IOU, that debt, in the spirit over their head, right? How do I look? That ex owes it. I'm just using random numbers here, so okay. He owes me $1,000 in damages for what he did, and I'm hurting, and it's in my heart, right? But think of it this way: all the stuff you've done. Let's think of it this way: how about the $1 million debt that God forgave you for? God forgave you for $1 million IOU. And here you are, still nursing, harboring, holding on to, and ruminating and meditating on $1,000 hurt that your ex or that friend or that partner did to you. God tore up your $1 million IOU, but here you go, hanging on to $1,000 IOU. Your blessings to you. Thank you for subscribing. Do you see? So, how do we look? How did I look? I came to the conclusion that I don't have a right to be holding somebody hostage when I've been freed from my mess and my junk. How do I look trying to collect $1,000 debt from somebody who has no capacity to pay me and I've been forgiven $1 million? That is in essence what we're doing. And when I realized these things, when I understood that those things, and that was the moment that I was able to be free, because unforgiveness towards that ex, holding that ex hostage, is the main thing that keeps a soul tie in place. As long as you're harboring resentment, bitterness, unforgiveness, nursing that grudge, your soul is tethered to that ex. And when you forgive, what forgiveness does, it brings freedom, it brings peace, it increases your capacity for creativity, innovation, living life again, opening your capacity to love. The pain that you endured purifies. The pain that you endured expands you. The pain that you endured, if you don't get bitter, it definitely will make you better. If you don't get bitter, it will make you bigger in capacity to give and to receive love. But to the extent that you can forgive, that is the extent that you'll be able to flow in a new creativity. That is the extent that you can flow in a new level of freedom. The key, how I got over and how I got free from my breakup, is to truly forgive. And if you have an ounce, if you have a slither, if you have a fraction, if you have a crumb of love somewhere in your heart, then you can find it in there to forgive. Because remember, how do you look holding that ex, holding that friend, holding that partner, holding your brother, your sister hostage over $1,000 debt, and God is forgiving you of your million? Y'all quiet on here on today, but I trust and believe that someone's hearing me and someone is listening and that you're getting this. And if you're in that place where you're still struggling, you're still in that place of struggle where it's hard to let go, this is a principal key in really bouncing back and healing and moving forward, where you're focused, where you're fruitful, and where you're free. I don't claim to have it all together, and I'm still in my journey right here with you, but I know this right here, the key to bouncing back from a breakup, this is a foundational principle, is forgiveness. As long as you got that resentment and that grudge, you're just as tied up with that ex as you ever was. You may as well go on back to them, because that unforgiveness is keeping you tied to them emotionally. I hope this blesses you, and I hope this makes sense for you on today. If you are in that place, I want you to know that I do have open hours that I've established. If you're what I'm calling bounce back recovery calls, for you to get clear, for you to just to see where you are and check in with me. This is a rare opportunity, absolutely free, complimentary coaching call where you can just come in, and we're going to talk about how you can bounce back, what I have, and how I can help you bounce back and recover from that breakup. So definitely click the link in my bio on all of these platforms and get in and catch your bounce back recovery call. Schedule that with me, get on my calendar, and I will be chatting with you. Good to see you. Blessings to you. Thank you, Peter. Thank you. Definitely follow me on the other platforms, Instagram and on my Facebook page, and of course here on Haps. And if you're in that place where you know you need help to bounce back from your breakup, Get on my calendar, see the link in my bio on all the platforms, Instagram, Facebook, Periscope, so that you can, so we can have a chat. Let's just have a chat. Blessings to you all. If you have not shared, if you have not subscribed, definitely do so. I look forward to coming back out here again next week, same time. Blessings to you all. I will see you soon. Take care.